Behind home plate will be Doug McClure. At first base will be Mark Huseman. And third base is Travis Olson. The umpire lineup is brought to you by Green Vision Group. Total eye care for the entire family. Now at 22 convenient locations throughout Kansas. Green Vision Group. Never miss a moment. Special thanks to Dr. Doug Blackman.
Good evening and welcome to Lawrence Dumont Stadium in Wichita, Kansas, where tonight the Big Talker KQAM excited to bring you third day action from the 84th NBC World Series. Tonight we've got two local teams going head-to-head in 7 o'clock slot, our feature slot. They're from right down the road and right next to each other. It's the Derby Twins and the Mulvane Patriots. Hello, everybody. Steve Strain with you on a gorgeous, and I mean a gorgeous, Sunday night for baseball. Temperatures at 90 degrees, not a lick of wind. scattering of clouds overhead, but we've got a great night for baseball, and two teams also that played very well in their opening game of this NBC World Series on Friday night. Derby victorious 5-1 as they were a winner over the Northwest Arizona Boom, while Mulvane Friday night all over the Sultanes of Waco, Texas. Mulvane won that game by the score of 17-7, so a 10-run victory for them. They gave up 7, but boy, did they pound out the runs and the hits. And we'll see if Derby can keep them in check tonight. Again, both of these teams 1-0 so far in pool play. All of the first week action pool play as 4 of these teams trying to qualify for the championship week tournament next weekend. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll run down the starting lineups. Opening pitch coming up at about 7:20, so stay tuned for that. This is the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker KQAM.
Fans, at this time we ask you please rise and remove your caps.
Yes, they're doing it right now. I can't hear program.
National Honor Guard presents our colors this evening.
Okay. Can you, if they're still doing it, can you go into another break? Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, because I don't want to come back in the middle of it.
Fans, at this time, performing our national anthem with his guitar, please make welcome to the field, Braden Struble.
Okay, we're good, Dave.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please remain standing as the colors exit the field.
Honor Guard exiting the field, so fans still standing here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. They've just wrapped up a version of the national anthem that took place on the electric guitar, which was rather cool. Mulvane and Derby about to do battle. Day number 3 of pool play, the second game for these two teams. There were already 3 other games in the books today. There's no 9:30 game tonight. It's a Sunday, and they made all of the other games earlier, so this is the last game of the day. So we'll run down the scores from the other 3 games today. It started at 11 o'clock this morning, and it was the Northwest Arizona Boom knocking off Waco by the score of 10-0. Northwest Arizona, the team that Derby beat on Friday night. Northwest Arizona again 10, Waco nothing earlier today. The Liberal BJs bounced back after a disappointing loss on Friday night to the 316 Elite, and they knocked off the Denver Cougars by the score of 10-4. So Liberal is 1-1 in pool play so far. And the San Antonio Angels knocked off the 316 Elite 12-5. The Elite is the team of 18 and under All-Stars from around the Wichita area, and they were very good against Liberal on Friday, but they had their troubles today, and they lost by the score of 13-5 was actually the score. It was a run rule in that game. If you're ahead by 8 runs or more after 7 innings, the game will end, and that's exactly what happened. 316 was down by 8 after 7, and that game ended early. About ready to go. Derby will be the visiting team. Let's run down their starting lineup. Noah Bland will lead off. He's in left field. He'll be followed by Tyler Mendoza at second base. Michael Urquidy hits third. Urquidy in center field. Batting fourth, Colton Eager. Eager, the designated hitter. Marcus Page bats fifth. He's at first base. Batting sixth, David Renning in right field. Torrin Craig hits seventh. Craig at shortstop. He'll be followed by Joe Scott Pace, the catcher. And batting ninth, Zach Smith, and Smith is at third base. Again, the lineup for the Twins, Bland, Mendoza, Urquidy, Eager, Page, Renning, Craig, Pace, and Smith, as they will look at Corbin Osborne, a left-handed pitcher for the Mulvane Patriots. Mulvane's lineup looks like this. Keon Givens will start in center field and lead off and be followed by right fielder Jarvis Larson. Channing Williams hits third. He's the shortstop. Devin Beard hitting cleanup for Mulvane. He's behind the plate. Batting fifth, Caleb Cox at third base. Dalton Dinkle hits sixth. Dinkle, the designated hitter. Batting seventh, Hunter Aguirre. Aguirre in left field. Turner Lance bats eighth. Lace is the first baseman, and Mason Goad bats ninth. He's at second base. Again for Mulvane, Givens, Larson, Williams, Beard, Cox, Dinkle, Aguirre, Lace, and Goad. Connor Dove is the pitcher that they will face. He is the starter for the Derby Twins. So here we go, as it's going to be Osborne towing the rubber. Noah Bland steps in from the right side of the plate, and again, just a delightful night for baseball. Absolutely perfect. And it's 7:18 Central Time. The first pitch is in, and it's down and in to Noah Bland. 1 ball and no strikes. 91 degrees and not a lick of wind. Overcast skies, but none that appear to be threatening, at least right away, as Bland sends the second pitch foul out of play over the first base dugout on a line. 1 ball and 1 strike to Noah Bland. Bland 0 for 4 on Friday night. Again, Derby won that game over the Northwest Arizona Boom 5-1. Third pitch, changeup, something taken off. Bland takes. And that one was in tight, 2 balls and 1 strike. Osborne, the lefty, ready from the wind, delivers, and Bland pops this one up near the plate, and it's Caleb Cox, the catcher, that makes the catch over toward the third base on deck circle. 1 up, 1 down. Defensively from Mulvane, Turner Lace is at first base, Mason Goad at second, Channing Williams the shortstop, Devin Beard at third. The outfield from left to right, Hunter Aguirre, Keon Givens, and Javis Larson. Caleb Cox, who just made that play behind the plate. Corbin Osborne is on the hill for the Mulvane Patriots. So 1 out, and here's Tyler Mendoza, the second baseman. And the left-handed Osborne delivers inside to Mendoza. 1 ball and no strikes. Mulvane is wearing red jerseys, trimmed in white, gray pants, and red socks. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Something taken off again. A lot of off-speed pitches for Osborne, but that one a change at 72 that's in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mendoza, another right-handed hitter. Osborne ready, delivers, and this one is swung on and lifted. Right side, slicing over toward the first base dugout. Laces over, and he runs out of room, and it lands on the concrete just outside the railing in foul ground beyond the first base dugout. Black caps as well for Mulvane. So black caps, red jerseys with some white trim around the shoulders, white numbers on the back of the red jersey, then gray pants, red socks as well. The Derby Twins are in black jerseys with gray pants, and maroon stirrups, maroon helmets as well. Here comes the 1-2 to Mendoza, and he takes high and away. And the count's now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Derby's manager is Ken Jarrett. He stays in the dugout. His assistant, Tyle Hankins, is over at third. In on the fists and muscled the other way to the right side. Mason Go to his left, can't come up with it at second base, and it squirts on into right field. And for Tyler Mendoza, a 1-out single. Well, that was a slow bouncing ball toward the right side. And for those of you that don't know, Lawrence Dumont Stadium, the field here is all turf except the pitcher's mound, which is dirt. So if you're watching on YouTube and you've never seen this field before, what you see in that brown there between the bases, that's not dirt, that's turf. It's all turf except the mound. And so it scoots pretty quickly. And Goad got there in time, just couldn't squeeze it in cleanly, and it trickled on into right. That'll be a base hit. And here's Michael Urquidy. Urquidy takes down and in, fastball at 83 miles an hour, 1 ball and no strikes. Doug Rhodes, a former Derby Twin who had played at York College in Nebraska, is the assistant over at first base. He's a Derby product. 1 ball and no strikes, and there's a strike taken, a fastball at 85. And the count's even 1-1. Urquidy had a good night on Friday. He went 2 for 4 with an RBI. Twins again won by the score of 5-1. The 1-1 taken for a strike, another fastball, and it's now 1-2. So Corbin Osborne started off with a lot of off-speed pitches to the leadoff hitter Bland, but Urquidy has seen his share of fastballs already in the few pitches he's seen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Osborne, the lefty, stretches. Mendoza gets his lead. The throw is home and swung on and missed by Urquidy, and down he goes swinging for the second out of the inning. And that one hit 87 for Osborne, so he was able to rear back and get a little bit more out of that one, and a strikeout as well. So here's cleanup hitter Colton Eager. Second consecutive left-handed hitter for the Twins, as Urquidy was the first and went down swinging. Eager set, and a breaking ball misses outside at 72. 1 ball and no strikes. Corbin Osborne is from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. He's going to attend Missouri Southern this year. That's where he pitched this past season as well. He's been around for a little bit, though. Moved around. There goes the runner. The throw is to the second, and the throw is not in time, and a stolen base for Tyler Mendoza. As the pitch at the plate evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike, but Tyler Mendoza got a very good jump, and he stole second base. So he's down there. His first stolen base of the World Series. The Twins had a couple swipes on Friday night, and they've got one here. So a runner at second, 2 out, top of the first inning in a scoreless game, as Colton Eager has a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Osborne stretches, throws home, and the pitch, a high bouncing ball out toward short. Channing Williams backs up to play it on the second hop and fires to first in time for a 6-3 putout, and the side retired. So a 1-out single and a stolen base, but the Twins strand one at second base. And after half an inning, Derby nothing, and Mulvane coming up. This is the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker, KQAM.
The city's not just built, it's grown to the needs of people. You make the infrastructure, the muscle, bone, and circulation so natural to the body of the city that you almost forget they're even there.
Guess how much I got this seat for? Only $5. Yes, $5 because of our $5 baseball nights. And our $5 baseball starts Sunday, July 29th and goes till Thursday, August 2nd. And then we will have our final $5 baseball night on Tuesday, August 7th. So make sure to go pick up your $5 baseball vouchers at Goodwill and Quick Trip in the Wichita area.
Protection website is your one-stop shop site for unbiased, commercial-free financial education on a host of topics ranging from saving and investing to avoiding fraud. Visit kansasmoney.gov today and follow us on Facebook for a chance to win a $25 Amazon gift card. Diamond Sports designs and manufactures high-quality baseballs and softball products for all levels while striving to inspire participation in baseball and softball with character, integrity, and respect for the game. Diamond Sports is proud to be the
Faunastock Heating and Cooling also does electrical and plumbing, and right now you can get $50 off a service call for electrical or plumbing service. Call 943-HEAT, 943-HEAT, and talk to the folks at Faunastock and get 50% off again a service call for either electrical or plumbing. Faunastock, sponsors of our NBC World Series coverage. Well, right-hander Connor Dove going through his warm-up tosses for the Derby Twins. Is Derby able to get a base runner to second base? And that's the only noise they made in the top of the first inning. Now the Mulvane Patriots will get their first crack at the plate, and Keon Givens about to step up to the plate for the Patriots. Again, Mulvane racked up 17 runs on Friday night in their 17-7 victory over the Waco Sultanes.
pitching for Derby tonight, number 35, Connor Dove.
So Givens steps in, right-handed batter. Connor Dove will work from the windup.
Center fielder number 2, Keone Givens.
Givens, the starting center fielder. Had a busy night on Friday. As you can imagine, a lot of the Patriots did. He was 2 for 5 and had 2 runs batted in, and he stole a base as well. He takes a strike, nothing in 1. Connor Dove, 6'2", 185-pound, and he just finished his freshman year at Georgia Georgia Highlands. Next pitch, down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. The head coach, Ken Jarrett, I mentioned for Derby, has coached at the college level in Georgia for a while. He just wrapped up his first year in Oklahoma, but had been down in Georgia, so he's got some good connections there. You would assume that's how Connor Dove became a Twin this year. Pitch taken for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dove rears back and fires, down and away. And the count's even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dove had 6 appearances this past season, his freshman year at Georgia Highlands. Had a 2-0 record in 10 2/3 innings pitched, so you would presume he handled quite a bit in relief. 7.59, though, a lofty earned run average, and he struck out 15 hitters. Delivers a ball. The count's now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Keone Givens, the center fielder and leadoff hitter for Mulvane, who swings and fouls a fastball straight back to the screen. Count is still full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The lights have just come on here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Again, a lot of cloud cover today. Don't believe there's much of a threat of rain tonight, at least not that would affect this game. But there are plenty of clouds, which actually is making the temperature quite nice and comfortable. 91 degrees at the first pitch, and it still is, but it doesn't quite feel that way. Pitch fouled at the plate. It deflected off of Joe Scott Pace's glove. He's the catcher for Derby. So we'll try it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dove delivers. High and tight of the fastball, ball 4, and a leadoff walk. So Keone Givens is on over at first base, and again, he had a steal the other night. And he's on at first now. And again, it's the dreaded leadoff walk as well. So keep an eye on him. Leadoff walks so many times turn into runs. Dove is ready, working from the stretch now. 1 batter into the game, and he delivers down and away to Jarvis Larson. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes to him. Larson, the starting right fielder for Mulvane, left-handed batter. Throw over to first, and back diving in is Givens. Larson's tall, 6'3", 180 pounds. A tall right fielder. There goes the runner. The pitch swung on. Bouncing ball through on the left side for a base hit. Givens is rounding second, and he's not going to stop there. The throw comes down the line at third and over third. Backing it up well was Pace. Holding at first base is Larson. And it'll be an opposite field single. And just like that, Mulvane with runners at the corners, nobody out. Well, that was a hit and run right there, and a great piece of hitting by Larson, because the shortstop, Craig, broke for the bag at second when he saw Givens leave first base. And that seeing eye ground ball went right where Craig was. And that enabled the base runner Givens to round the bag at second, not stop there. With a full head of steam, on into third he went. Now there's an injury timeout here as Connor Dove, the pitcher, is having his hand looked at, his right throwing hand, or maybe the wrist area. And the trainer for Derby is out, so is the head coach, Ken Jarrett. And the home plate umpire is there checking it out as well, so that Derby doesn't get charged with a trip to the mound here. And he is, Dove, the pitcher, sort of flexing, opening and closing his right throwing hand. And now we've got an NBC official that's come out. I think it's somebody from the NBC medical staff as well. And now they're looking around the elbow area of Connor Dove. This isn't good. And Connor Dove might well be done the way that they're taking a look at him. Now the medical staff for the NBC is holding and shaking his elbow and his hand, probably to determine what kind of feeling he's got in it. So there could be some, I don't know, speculating, maybe a little numbness, tingling or something. Nobody yet is stirring up in the Derby bullpen, but Ken Jarrett talking to one of his assistants right now, and we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully Connor Dove is okay. You'd hate to see something happen so quickly into the World Series, and now I think they are calling for action in the Derby bullpen. And actually, it wouldn't even be the bullpen. Dove might be coming out of the game, and they'll just get the next pitcher out to the mound to start going through warm-ups. That's exactly what's going to happen. Boy, how unfortunate for Connor Dove. 2 pitches into the game, and he is going to have to leave. So Dove is going to give way to a relief pitcher, Jack Engelman. Engelman can take as many warm-ups as he wants, because when you come in for an injury, well, that's the rule in baseball. You can warm up as long as you like. So this will be a while. He'll start off with some short distance throws, then work his way back to the mound. So we'll take a timeout. After an injury to starting pitcher Connor Dove, he is done. 2 batters into the game. Scoreless, bottom of the first inning, but Mulvane threatening. They've got runners at first and third here in the bottom of the first with an injury timeout. We'll take the break. You're listening to the 84th NBC World Series on KQAM.
Guess how much I got this seat for? Only $5. Yes, $5 because of our $5 baseball nights. And our $5 baseball starts Sunday, July 29th and goes till Thursday, August 2nd. And then we will have our final $5 baseball night on Tuesday, August 7th. So make sure to go pick up your $5 baseball vouchers at Goodwill and Quick Trip in the Wichita area.
Tosses short of that distance. He's a right-handed sidearm pitcher, and so the Mulvane hitters that are coming up, Channing Williams next and Devin Beard after that, both getting a good look at the pitcher Engelman out there on the hill and his delivery. And again, Mulvane with runners at the corners with nobody out. They've had a walk and an opposite field single to left field that puts them at the corners with Channing Williams up. So an ominous beginning for the Derby Twins here. 2 base hits and an injury to their starting pitcher, Connor Dove. We want to thank Taco Prano for sponsoring NBC World Series Baseball this year. Taco Prano, stop by and see them on Tuesdays. They've got a great deal, 60-cent tacos. And also ask them about their Money Saver Combo. Taco Prano with 2 Wichita locations. Also Davis Liquor. We appreciate their sponsorship of NBC World Series Baseball. In 2018, the 84th NBC World Series at historic Lawrence Dumont Stadium, where the series will not be next year. The plan right now is to have this event at Wichita State's X Stadium and then hopefully be back here after all the renovations have taken place at Lawrence Dumont 2 years from now. And Engelman saying he wants maybe another pitch or two. And the sidearm delivers, and home plate umpire making his way back behind home plate. Doug McClure, by the way, is the home plate umpire. Mark Huseman at first base. Travis Olson is at third. And now the catcher, Joe Scott Pace, is out in front of the plate. He's going over some infield signals for his fielders. Very critical stage early in this game. In a scoreless game, but Mulvane with runners at the corners and nobody out. Here's Channing Williams, the shortstop, a right-handed batter. And he had a huge night on Friday. This is a guy that had 5 base hits. He went 5 for 7 on Friday night. That is ridiculous. 2 runs batted in. He had a double and a triple and 3 singles. So he only missed the cycle by a homer. The first thing Engelman does is throw to first. Back in time is Larson. Now one that's down and in. Nice play by Joe Scott Pace, the catcher, sliding to his left. 1 ball and no strikes. So each team with a hit, but Mulvane's inning has consisted of a base on balls and a hit. And that puts runners at the corners with nobody out. Engelman through the stretch. He's a right-handed sidearmer and delivers, and a pitch bouncing ball just foul outside the bag at first, and that was close. I'll tell you what, from here it looked fair. Marcus Page, the first baseman for Derby, dove to his left, and it looked like that thing had crossed. Boy, if that wasn't fair, it was really, really close, and that would have been trouble. It headed down towards the Derby bullpen, which, by the way, is busy again. The Twins already have another reliever warming up. Jack Engelman came on in an emergency after Connor Dove left. 2 batters into the game. Throw to first is low. Marcus Page has it deflect off his glove. It pops straight up in the air and comes down, and the runner at third scores. Keone Givens broke after that ball popped up in the air off the glove of Page, who couldn't quite dig it out cleanly. That'll likely be an E1, and it scores a run from third, and it's 1-0. Mulvane's got the lead. Both of Engelman's throws to first were low, but that one bounced in. It was very low. Chopper over toward the third base coach's box, fielded by the assistant coach from Mulvane. And an underhand toss over toward the dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Channing Williams. Williams also a slugging percentage. Granted, it's just 1 game, but 1.143. That is ridiculous. Now another low throw to first. Diving back in is Larson, but this one heads towards the Derby bullpen. It's rolling around in the bullpen, and Larson will head first slide into third base. And that is the second throwing error on Jack Engelman. 1 allowed a run to score. This one, Javis Larson, goes 2 bases from first to third. So you could not have scripted a much better start for Mulvane, much worse for Derby. 2 throwing errors on the pitcher, an injury to their starting pitcher, 2 batters into the game. He's gone. And now the runner moves all the way to third base with nobody out. The pitch to Williams, swung on and fouled, back and out of play. The count at the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Channing Williams. Devin Beard, the cleanup hitter, waits on deck. Engelman through the stretch and delivers, and a little number foul up the first base side. So Larson will retreat to third, and we'll try it again. Through the stretch goes Engelman. The throw home, ground ball up the middle to his right. Mendoza, the second baseman. The only throw will be to first. That was deep at second, nearly behind the bag he was. So scoring from third base is Larson, and Mulvane's taken a 2-0 lead. And that'll be a 4-3 ground out for Williams, but he will get the RBI. And that is also just the first out of the inning. So Devin Beard steps in now. Well, it was touched on right after the leadoff walk to Keone Givens. How damaging those leadoff walks can be. And sure enough, it set the table now for not only Givens to score, but the next batter as well, Javis Larson. First pitch to Devin Beard, taken outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Jack Engelman made 22 appearances this past season at Paris Community College. The sidearmer delivers down and in, 2 balls and no strikes to Devin Beard. 0-1 was his record. He pitched in 19 innings, had a very nice earned run average of 2.84. He struck out 20 batters this season. Works from the stretch, even with nobody on, and he delivers. And a hot shot left side fielded on a couple of hops by Zach Smith. He'll throw to first in time for a 5-3 putout, and there's 2 away. Well, perhaps Engelman is settling in now after a couple of throwing errors to first. He's gotten a couple of ground balls, and being that he's a sidearmer that has a lot of pitches very low off the turf, you would imagine that's his MO, is to get ground balls. So that could be a sign he's starting to find his rhythm here. Caleb Cox up now, 2 outs, nobody on, 2-0. Mulvane's got the lead. First pitch to Cox, in tight for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Cox, one of the very few, in fact the only starter for Mulvane that was hitless on Friday. He went 0 for 4. Another one that comes down and in. 2 balls and no strikes, the count to Cox. Tall right-handed third baseman Caleb Cox. 6 feet, 200 pounds, attending Arkansas Little Rock. The Mulvane Patriots in just their second year of existence, and they've made this NBC both times. Bouncing ball over to third on 2 hops. Zach Smith is there. A throw to first in time, and the side retired.
The wait is over. The multi-platinum award-winning duo Sugarland back on tour for the first time in 5 years. Still the same 2018 tour. Saturday, August 18th at Entrust Bank Arena. The undeniable distinctive sound of Sugarland with special guest Frankie Ballard and Lindsay L. Tickets are on sale now at selectaseat.com. Get ready for Sugarland.
Baseball caps and t-shirts, you can show your support of the NBC World Series in style. Our tin is sponsored by Stock, Wichita's trusted name for heating and air conditioning. Escape the summer heat and stay cool with Stock.
Our thanks to Cherry Oaks Golf Course in Cheney for sponsoring the 84th NBC World Series. Just off to the west of Wichita, Cherry Oaks. Country Club Golf at a public course. We appreciate their sponsorship of our NBC World Series coverage. Here in 2018, the 84th NBC. Dalton Dinkle, steps in for Derby. Takes the first pitch down, out, away for a ball, 1-0. Marcus Page, the first baseman for the Twins. And now Corbin Osmond ready and delivers, and Page sends one high and deep to left field. A towering fly ball, and this one is back, and it bounces off the bottom of the fence. And Page, he thought it was either gone or caught, was just jogging around the bag at first, and then speeds up and heads into second base with a double. I don't know if that was a home run trot or if he thought the ball was caught. He was about a third the way to second base, and he was just jogging. And then all of a sudden, he saw the ball bouncing around at the base of the fence and sprinted to second base. It was not a close play there, but that could have been costly for Derby. And Coach Ken Jarrett can't be happy about that. First base coach Doug Rhodes was really over Page, too, telling him to get on his horse. Here's David Renning now, the right fielder. Pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. I mean, that was a high, towering fly ball. That was about as high as the light standards are out in left field, and nearly carried the fence, but it landed down near the base of the wall. Then bounced off of it before Hunter Aguirre, the left fielder, could bring it back into the infield. Pitch swung on, fouled back to the backstop. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to David Renning. Renning was 1 for 2 on Friday night. He had a single. Marcus Page at second gets his lead. Channing Williams, the shortstop, inches that way, but he'll retreat. And the breaking ball is home, and it's low. Gets away from Caleb Cox. Runner going to third. Throw not in time. It bounced in. Devin Beer did a good job just short hopping it to keep it from getting by. So Page down to second base now, or third, excuse me. So the Twins with a runner at third now with nobody out. They're trying to get a rally going of their own with nobody out, as Mulvane did in the bottom of the first inning. They lead 2-0, does Mulvane. Off speed, down and in on a change. 2 balls and a strike. The count to David Renning. Renning from Garland, Texas, attending the University of Texas Arlington, where he will be a sophomore. Bouncing ball back to the pitcher. He thought about throwing to third, but Page will go back to third, and then the throw goes to first. A 1-3 put out, and there's the first out of the inning. Well, it was well struck by Renning, and that got Page off the bag at third, took a few steps like he did want to go home, then realized that was right back to the pitcher, and Page scampered back to the bag, and Osborne whipped around and threw back to first base, 1 away. So Torrin Craig in now, as Corbin Osborne will continue to work from the stretch now to a right-handed hitter and delivers outside with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes to Craig. Craig had a nice night hitting out of the 7 spot for the Twins Friday. He was 2 for 3. Osborne delivers. Fastball fouled back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Let's get you home. Check their website at cwichitahomes.com.
I mentioned in the first inning that Corbin Osborne has been well-traveled. He started his college career right up the road in El Dorado at Butler Community College. This one fouled over the first base dugout and on into the stands. Nice catch by a fan. Barehanded that one. Fans at the World Series get to keep foul balls that are hit into the stands. And last year, Kevin Jinks, the head of the NBC, told us that they used over 200 dozen baseballs. And they let the fans keep them. One of the neat things about this event, 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count to Craig, and a fastball up high, 2-2. But after going to Butler, Corbin Osborne then played in 2017 at Arkansas Little Rock. And he pitched in 18 games in 2017, and all but one of them was in relief. He had a 1-0 record at Arkansas Little Rock and an ERA of 4 in 2017. Pitch fouled back to the screen. So he was a year at Butler, a year at Arkansas Little Rock, and then this past year he went on to pitch where we would presume he is going to stay now. And that is at Missouri Southern. 2 balls and 2 strikes, runner at third, 1 out. Top of the second inning, Mulvane 2, Derby nothing. A breaking ball, hot shot deep in the hole at short, runner coming home. The throw will be to first, and on a bounce, Channing Williams gets it there in time. A nice play by Williams at short. Had to hustle to his right, backhand it, near the cut of what would be grass, but instead it's the turf. Nonetheless, had to fire a bouncer to first that got there in the nick of time. So Craig will get the RBI. He grounds out 6-3 for the second out of the inning, and Page comes home to score. So things really started off shaky for Derby, but they've got back within a run here, 2-1. Bottom or top of the second inning. Now a bouncing ball by Joe Scott Pace to short. Williams throws high to first, but Lace keeps his foot on the bag and hauls it in. Nice play by Turner Lace to help retire the side, but Derby gets a leadoff double, and Marcus Page eventually brought home to score. After an inning and a half, Mulvane 2, Derby 1 at the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker, KQAM.
Mount up, take off, and chase the sun. Experience more of what makes Kansas great. And let K-Tag help you get there. 236 miles of road, endless destinations of wonder. Start your adventure with K-Tag. Get your free K-Tag at myktag.com.
Satisfied customer. Build a lot of things, but mostly we build relationships. Your attention now, pitching for the Derby Twins, number 28, Trevor Smith.
Well, I left Kentucky back in '49 and went to Detroit working on the assembly line. The first year they had me putting wheels on Cadillacs. Every day I'd watch them beauties roll by, and sometimes I'd hang my head and cry, because I always wanted to be one that was long and black.
Well, the Derby Twins already have gone to their third pitcher here tonight. Trevor Smith, a tall left-handed pitcher, is out. We're just in the bottom of the second inning. Connor Dove started the game. 2 batters into the game left with a injury to his right wrist or his elbow, and he gave way then to another relief pitcher for Derby, Jack Engelman, who finished up the bottom of the first inning, and his night's done, and now it's tall left-hander Connor Smith, that is on, Trevor Smith, that's on for Derby. He's 6'3", 185 pounds, attending Northeast Oklahoma State, where he's about to be a junior. He's from Yukon, Oklahoma. He'll face Dalton Dinkle, Hunter Aguirre, and Turner Lace, 6, 7, and 8 in the order for Mulvane, with the Derby Twins trailing Mulvane by the score of 2-1. Temperature is dropped just a degree. It's 90 degrees here tonight. And the flags just off to the foul side of the right field foul pole, just barely shaking. What little smidge of a breeze there is out of the north. But I mean, maybe a couple miles an hour. Here's Dalton Dinkle stepping in, taking a strike from Smith. 0-1. Fastball 84 miles an hour, caught the outside edge. No balls and a strike. Dinkle was 1 for 5 on Friday night. As the pitch comes down, that one was a changeup that ended up low. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-1, Mulvane's got the lead. Bottom of the second inning. Smith to Dinkle. Pitch swung on, fouled, and it hits off the facing of the press box off to our right and deflects down into the stands behind home plate. A ball and 2 strikes, the count. Dalton Dinkle is a local product. He's from Wichita and attending Cowley County Community College. Breaking ball swung on and fouled back to the screen. And the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dinkle again. Good crowd on hand tonight, as you would imagine, for a Sunday night of baseball with 2 teams very close to Wichita playing. Another one fouled out of play on the right side. For those of you that don't know, Mulvane is basically straight south of Wichita on Interstate 135 that turns into Interstate 35, but it's still about 10 miles to the south of Wichita and just pretty much straight south. And then right next to it to the east, butted up against Mulvane practically, is Derby. Pitch down low, 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Dinkle. And as a result of that, again, we've got a lot of fans here to watch these 2 teams tonight. Breaking ball bounces in at 68 miles an hour. That one nowhere close, and the count's run full now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff walk issued to Keone Givens in the bottom of the first inning. He came around to score. Then 2 throwing errors by the pitcher helped Javis Larson score as well. This one lifted, slicing right side, foul territory, coming on over is Renning, but he won't get there in time. And it'll be a foul ball that bounces in the field of play just past the home plate area for the right field bullpen, but Renning could not get there in time to haul it in. So we'll try it again. Counts full again, 3-2. Through the windup goes Trevor Smith, and the 3-2 pitch home. Swung on, hot shot, bouncing ball to second, fielded on 2 hops by Mendoza. He'll throw to first in time for a 4-3 putout, 1 away. Thanks to Midwest Kia for bringing you action from the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker, KQAM. And we appreciate Rusty Eck Ford as well, also sponsoring our NBC baseball coverage, which will last almost another 2 weeks. A week from this Saturday night. 16 nights of baseball will commence with the championship game. We'll have it here on KQAM as well. All of the 7 o'clock games will carry. First pitch to Hunter Aguirre outside for a ball. A fastball that missed away, 1-0. Smith is ready. This time it's fouled right above us and over us. And the count's 1 ball and 1 strike. We're at a pretty good vantage point here, just a shade off to the third base side of home plate and up above to get some foul balls, but in all the seasons, a few of them I've been doing this, haven't had one come up to the booth yet. Lazy fly ball lifted left field. Noah Bland tracks it down, moving toward the line. And a quick 2 up, 2 down from Mulvane here in the bottom of the second inning. Well, after a shaky start for Derby, things have really settled in. Of course, Connor Dove started, gave up that leadoff walk and then a single, and he was gone in the first inning due to an injury. And then the pitcher that came in after him was Jack Engelman, who was shaky both in balls and strikes and making throws and pickoff attempts to first base. 2 scored in the inning, but he did get the side retired in order, and now 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the second for Trevor Smith, who delivers to Turner Lace, a pitch high and away for a ball, then the second offering sliced foul right side. 1 ball and 1 strike to Lace. Lace had a couple of hits the other night. He was 2 for 4. And here comes the 1-1. Something taken off, lifted, right side, foul territory, 3 players converging, and a diving attempt by David Renning. Did he make the catch? He did. What a play by Renning in foul ground in right field, diving onto the pitcher's mound in the bullpen. His uniform is filthy, but he makes a great diving catch to retire the side. What a play by Renning in right, and the side retired in order, 1-2-3. We'll head to the third. Mulvane 2, Derby 1. You're listening to the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker, KQAM.
If we really put everything in our name that we do, it would look like this. Professional mechanical, electrical, plumbing, structural, telecommunications, civil, transportation, aviation, water, wastewater, energy, land development, planning, field services, survey, geotechnical, materials testing, inspection, 3D scanning, air and water balance, engineering consultants.
Lincoln and Cameron. Lincoln, you're going to be representing upper section 106. Cameron, you're going to be representing section 116. Alrighty, guys, you know what to do. Toss the balloons. Let's see it. And Cameron take the lead. Woo, nice one, Lincoln. There we go. Yes. Nice. 1 for 1. Hey, let's make some noise for Lincoln and Cameron out here. Keep it going. Nice. Oh! Oh, alrighty, and we have Cameron up. Oh, alright, here we go, Lincoln. Here's your chance to...
Don't forget, in the 7th inning, we'll have our Champs Sports Bar and Grill giveaway. We'll give away a free hamburger, French fries, and a drink to a lucky winner. When we give you the go-ahead, give the studio a call, and the lucky winner will receive that free meal courtesy of one of our fine sponsors of this World Series, Champs Bar and Grill. Again, that's coming up in the 7th inning tonight. Zach Smith to lead it off for Derby. Twins trailing Mulvane 2-1, top of the 3rd inning. Smith takes a fastball down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Smith is the number 9 hitter in the Derby order, so we'll go back to the top after that. Noah Bland and Tyler Mendoza. And Smith swings and hits one pretty well to center field, but Keone Givens tracking it back over his left shoulder and runs it down for the first out of the inning. There's one away, so that'll bring up Noah Bland. Thanks to Shire Graphics as well, proud sponsors of our NBC coverage. Shire Graphics, which used to be Shire Signs. Thanks to them for their coverage of their sponsorship of our coverage of this World Series. Noah Bland steps in now. He popped out to the catcher to start the game. Takes high and away for a ball on a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes to Bland. Bland did not play the regular season, or at least much of it, with Derby. He was playing out in North Carolina. The 1-2 lifted behind the plate. Does Cox have room? Moving toward the backstop, he does. And for the second time in 2 at-bats, Noah Bland has popped out to the catcher. And there's 2 away. So Tyler Mendoza will step in now. Mendoza singled in the 1st inning and stole second base. He did that, both of those, in fact, with 1 out. But he was stranded there after a Michael Urquidy strikeout and a Colton Eager ground out to short. And that was that for Derby in the 1st inning. And he hits a hot shot to short. Diving to his right, it's Williams. He can't get to it. And it's on into left field. And Tyler Mendoza now 2 for 2 in the game with a couple of singles. So he was hitless on Friday night, 0 for 4, but already a good fast start for him. He's 2 for 2, and now you've got to watch out for him to steal. He's already stole 1 base tonight. And with 2 outs, you've got a very good hitter in Michael Urquidy up there. You would think that Mendoza and the Twins thinking steal right here. First pitch to Urquidy's a fastball low. 1 ball and no strikes. Urquidy went down swinging in the first inning for the second out of the first inning. Osborne stretches, throws home, fouled back over the press box, right over my head, and the count's 1 ball and 1 strike to Urquidy. Michael from El Paso, Texas, attending Angelo State University. He's the only Twin that played the entire season for Derby this year that was on the team last year. Derby had a very nice season last year. It ended here in the World Series. The 1-1 to Urquidy, something taken off there, and a breaking ball at 73 catches the outside corner. Good pitch by Osborne. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Urquidy. Osborne through the stretch, checks the runner at first. And here comes the pitch to Urquidy. Swung on, bouncing ball right side. And the runner, Mendoza's got to get out of the way of that when he hops out of the way, then moves on to second base on the Urquidy base hit to right field. Boy, nice job that time by Mendoza. He made a beeline for second base, but that bouncing ball came right in front of him, and he had to stop, leap in the air to avoid that bouncing ball. Of course, if it hits you, you're out. A batted ball it does if you're at the base path. So good job by Mendoza to avoid that bouncing ball, then charge on into second base. And Derby had 2 quick ups, 2 quick up and 2 quick outs here in the inning, but just like that, 2 quick back-to-back base hits. Here's Colton Eager now taking a breaking ball outside for a ball, 1-0. Eager 0 for 1. He grounded out to short to end the first inning. So Tyler Mendoza at second, Michael Urquidy at first. Very good speed for the Twins on the base paths now. And the pitch a little bit high and outside for a ball. It's 2-0. Derby was a very aggressive team offensively last year, but again, a different look in the roster with Urquidy being the only member of the team that played the entire year this season that was with the team last year. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and boy was Eager way out in front of that one. His last name, Eager, is very fitting right there. He was eager to get a big cut at that one, but fooled on the breaking ball. The count's now 2 balls and a strike to Eager. Osborne through the stretch, checks at second, throws home. And a slicing fly ball, line drive, left side. That's going to be a base hit. Mendoza being waved around. The throw home will be cut off. And it's an RBI single for Colton Eager the other way. And Derby has tied the score at 2. Well, this is a really nice job by Derby, as it was 2 very quick outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. And now they have strung together 3 straight singles. Michael Urquidy stops at second. But Mendoza comes around from second to score, and we start all over at 2 apiece. And here's Marcus Page now, who had that towering double to left field his last time up. Takes down low, a breaking ball, 1 ball and no strikes. It was a high fly ball to left field, just not too far to the right side of the foul pole when it hit off the base of the wall. 1 ball and no strikes, and here comes the pitch to Page. Sends this one back behind the plate, foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. You might have heard one of the fans back there in the path of that fly ball screaming for dear life. I think everybody's okay. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Marcus Page. Page was also jogging around the bag at first, either thinking he had a home run or the ball was caught, I'm not sure, then had to turn on the afterburners to get into second base with his double. A ball and a strike, the pitch. Change-up misses outside. 72 miles an hour, 2 balls and a strike. Infielders not concerned with the base runners. Turner Lace playing well behind Eager at first, and up the middle they don't worry about Urquidy with 2 outs. Their focus is on Corbin Osborne getting the hitter out. Bouncing ball left side, that may well happen. The throw instead will be to second, and Devin Beard fires to Mason Goat at second for the force. 5-4 to end the inning, but Derby strings together 3 straight base hits with 2 outs and score a run. After 2.5, Mulvane 2, Derby 2 at the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker KQAM.
Builders Incorporated.
Kansas Gas Service delivers natural gas to many of the companies you know, ensuring they have the energy they need to grow and build strong communities. providing cost-effective, safe, and reliable natural gas for a better tomorrow today. Kansas Gas Service.
Well, the Mulvane Patriots got 2 quick runs in the bottom of the first inning, but since then, Derby has scratched across single runs in the second and the third, and we head to the bottom of the third now with a brand new ball game. Mulvane 2, Derby 2. And the Patriots will have their second baseman, Mason Goad, leading things off. He's the bottom hitter in their lineup, then back to the top of the order with Keone Givens and Javis Larson. So 9, 1, and 2. As Trevor Smith starts his second inning of work for the Twins and delivers a fastball outside to the right-handed hitting Goad. 1 ball and no strikes. Smith ready again, delivers, swing and a miss on a fastball, and the count's now 1 ball and 1 strike to Goad. Goad hit out of the 9 spot on Friday night for Mulvane and had a nice night. He was 2 for 4. Again, Mulvane scored 17 runs in their 17-7 victory over the Waco Sultanes on Friday night. Smith ready, delivers the 1-1. Another fastball. That one just misses away to the right-handed hitter. 2 balls and a strike. Smith ready, little fly ball flare, shallow right field. That's going to get down. That'll be a base hit. That had a lot of English on it as well, as Goad stops at first base with the single as he goes the other way. And you could see when that ball landed on the turf in shallow right field, it also had so much English on it, it spun further towards the right field foul line. But David Renning able to pick it up on 1 bounce and get it back to the infield. Leadoff single for Mason Goad. So back to the top of the order now with Keone Givens, the center fielder, who drew a leadoff walk in the bottom of the first inning. He's bunting here, and they will appeal to first and say he did go around. That's a strike to Givens. No balls and a strike. That looked like it might have been a ball high and away, and Givens kind of lunged out at it, but came up empty. So 0-1 to Givens. Through the stretch goes Smith. Pitch swung on. Bouncing ball to short. Could be 2 to second for 1 to throw back to first. And that throw not in time. Givens runs with very good speed. Otherwise, it's a 6-4-3 double play. But Derby does get the lead runner Goad at second base for the first out of the inning. And Givens reaches on the fielder's choice. Boy, and that was a hot shot bouncing ball, too. Torrin Craig did a really good job of getting rid of it in a hurry. And the underhand toss to second was there. The turn by Tyler Mendoza at second, back to first. The relay was well handled and quickly executed. Just too good a speed for Givens, who was safe at first. Swing and a miss to Javis Larson on a fastball. 0-1 to him. Larson singled to left field back in the first inning. Smith, again a quick worker, delivers inside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Larson went all the way from first to third on a pickoff attempt that was errant by the pitcher Jack Engelman for Derby at the time in the bottom of the first inning. It went all the way down into the right field bullpen, and Larson, who dove back into first safely, then got up and advanced 2 bases on the error. Fastball inside here, and the count's now 2 balls and a strike to Larson. He then scored on Channing Williams, ground out to second base. There were 2 errors on the pitcher for pickoff attempts at first base, Jack Engelman in the first inning. Breaking ball, nicely done, a strike, and it's 2-2. That one at 65 miles an hour. Smith will stretch, throw to first, and back diving in is Keone Givens. Givens had a stolen base on Friday night. No home runs for Mulvane in their 17-run outburst, but they strung together a bunch of base hits and had 3 stolen bases, breaking ball down and away. And the counts run full to Larson, 3-2. Channing Williams, the shortstop, waits on deck. 2-2 our score, bottom of the third inning. Mulvane, the home team, up there now. And another throw to first. Pretty good move by Smith there. He looked home with his cap, but threw it to first. You could see his head tilt toward home, and I think that's the reason Givens got a late jump back to first, but dove in head first safely. This time the throw is home. There goes the runner, and it hit him. It hit Larson in the back. And he tosses the bat away and will head down to second base. So kind of an interesting 3 innings for Mulvane. They had 2 on with nobody out in the first inning. They scored 2. Here they've got 1 out, but 2 on again. So they're threatening as Channing Williams will step in. There's a brief delay right now as Javis Larson is past the bag up the right field line just a few steps. They want to let him walk around and shake off the sting of that back where he got hit. And he's okay, and he's inching away to get his lead now. And here's Channing Williams, the shortstop. First and second, 1 out. The pitch to Williams, lifted. That's going to be shallow center field, but the second baseman, McNoza, goes out in shallow right center, and he'll make the catch for a big out number 2. Well, that was a really big pitch right there for Trevor Smith as he got that in tight on Williams, who could only fight it off and get it into shallow right center, and Mendoza went back to make the catch. So 2 on 2 outs now for the cleanup hitter, Devin Beard. Derby has out-hit Mulvane 5-2, but we are even on the scoreboard at 2 apiece. Smith stretches. Infield playing at normal depth. Nobody holding any runners on. There go the runners, and the pitch in there for a strike. The throw bounces into third, and everybody will be safe on a double steal. Givens steals third. The throw bounced in. Joe Scott Pace did a pretty good job of getting rid of that one quickly, but bounced it into third. Zach Smith, the third baseman, a nice job of just using his body to block that one, keep it from getting by him, and preventing the runners from advancing further. But 2 steals, down to second Larson, Givens at third. No balls in the strike to Beard, and here comes a pitch. Breaking ball line, center field. Urquidy coming on. He's not going to get there. That'll be a base hit. Here comes Givens to score. Larson being waved around. He will score as the throw is cut off. It's a 2 RBI single for Devin Beard, and Mulvane has taken a 4-2 lead.
Catcher number 27, Caleb Cox.
Well, that was a line drive single by Beard that time, and Urquidy, no doubt he was going to get that one. In fact, he kind of had to wait back on it because of the high bounces you get on this turf. He had to leap to catch that one on the bounce. So everybody scored relatively easily. Givens certainly did from third, and Larson pretty much the same from second base. And now Mulvane's got their 2-run lead back at 4-2. The first pitch to Caleb Cox is a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. That's the 3rd hit of the game for Mulvane. Runs 3 and 4. Smith stretches, delivers, sliced foul right side. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Caleb Cox ended the first inning by grounding out to third. It was a pretty well struck bouncing ball behind the bag. Zach Smith was several steps behind the bag at third, and then had to make a strong throw to first. There goes the runner on a breaking ball. Pitch swung on. Bouncing ball to second. Mendoza right in front of the bag. Throws to first in time. A 4-3 putout.
At Davis Moore, we pride ourselves on our ability to provide a safe and reliable driving experience to all of our customers. When we say that safety is our top priority, we mean it. That's why every single one of our pre-owned vehicles goes through a 171-point inspection before it ever goes on our lot. And with our Davis Moore 360 guarantee, you can drive forever, worry-free. So let us prove to you that we have the best car care and best customer experience, and why nobody beats a Davis Moore deal. Come by any one of our 5 Davis Moore locations or check us out online at davis-moore.com.
In the number of projects completed, the value of projects sold, or the number of employees they have. At Key Construction, there is one variable by which we measure our success: a truly satisfied customer. We build a lot of things, but
what's going on, man?
We build relationships.
Diet Pepsi down there. Thanks, Ryan. Stay a while.
Well, Corbin Osborne's got his 2-run lead back, as do his Mulvane Patriot teammates as we move to the 4th inning. 4-2 is our score. Mulvane over Derby. David Renning, the right fielder, will lead off for Derby. He'll be followed by Torrin Craig and Joe Scott Pace. That's 6, 7, and 8 for the Twins as Renning fouls the first one back. And that one lands above us on the press box again. Well, they're surrounding the radio press box, but nothing yet right at me, and Renning nothing in one. Renning made that outstanding diving catch in foul ground a couple of innings ago. At the plate, he bounced back to the pitcher to start the 2nd inning. Chops this one foul as well, and he's quickly behind in the count, 0-2. It was Turner Lace's fly ball to right field that Renning made a terrific catch on, and now he lines one into left field, and that'll be a base hit. So, for the first time tonight, or second time, Derby's got their leadoff batter aboard, and Torrin Craig will step in now. That was a frozen rope into left field, so the 6th hit of the game is to the leadoff batter, David Renning for Derby, and Torrin Craig is in. And he's showing bunt and sends it foul up the first base side. 0-1 to Craig. Craig grounded to short in the 2nd inning, but did bring home the first run of the game for Derby. Marcus Page scored from 3rd base, so he's still got the RBI in spite of the fact that he's 0 for 1. The 0-1 pitch, he's showing bunt again, pretty good one, between the mound and the first baseline. Osborne off the mound, scoops it up, and an underhand toss to first is in time for a sacrifice that will go 1-4, and there's one away, but the runner to second base, David Renning. So here's Joe Scott Pace now, the catcher. 4-2 our score. Mulvane's got the lead. 2 costly errors for Derby in the first inning. So even though they've doubled up Mulvane in the hit column, they've been doubled up in the run column. Breaking ball and a swing and a miss to Pace. 0-1 to him. Joe Scott Pace is from Brady, Texas. That is very centrally located in the state of Texas. Attending Angelo State University. Takes up high for a ball. Same college as his teammate Michael Urquidy. Brady in San Angelo, Texas, the home of Angelo State, not too far apart. 1 ball and a strike now, the count to Pace. Through this stretch goes Osborne, getting his lead at second as Renning in the throw. Hot shot, ground ball that hit the base runner. Boy, we almost saw that in the last inning with Tyler Mendoza between first and second, and there that hot shot bouncing ball hit David Renning, and he is out. And Joe Scott Pace will reach first base. Boy, what a tough break for the Twins right there. They could have, at the very least, had runners at the corners with 1 out. Although Renning was running with a full head of steam, who knows, maybe he would have tried to score. But instead, the ball hit him in the legs, and he kicked it on into left field, and he is out. So Renning back to the dugout for the 2nd out of the inning, and now Zach Smith, the shortstop, is in now, and he lines one up the middle. That'll be a base hit, and now that play definitely cost Derby a run, because Renning certainly would have made it home by now with back-to-back singles. Instead, stopping at second base is Pace, and on at first base is Zach Smith. So Noah Bland will step in now, and he'll have to reach if the Twins are to keep the threat and the top of the 4th inning alive. Been a tough go for Bland so far, 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts to the catcher, both in foul territory. Takes a change there, up high for a ball, 1-0. Noah came to the Twins. I mentioned in his last at bat that he played the regular season in North Carolina. Then he got a call from Ken Jarrett of the Twins and came out to play just their last 3 regular season games, and now here he is playing for them in the World Series. Corbin Osborne has called time on the mound. He wants his catcher Cox to come out and speak with him. Caleb Cox does. That conversation was brief, and Cox back behind home plate. But Bland was a tremendous part of this Derby Twins team success last year. Did a great job in the outfield, hitting up at the top of their lineup or very near it at times. He and Michael Urquidy were a very potent 1-2 combination last season for Derby. Bouncing ball just outside the bag at third. It's called a foul ball. Devin Beard caught that bouncing ball and in stride stepped on the bag for what he thought would be a force out at third base with runners at first and second, 2 away. However, the home plate umpire, Doug McClure, says that bouncing ball was actually just outside the bag at third, so it's foul, and we'll try it again. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Noah Bland. Bland is from the state of Ohio. He's got 1 season of eligibility left at Ohio Dominican. Big swing and a miss there, and the count's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Noah said his batting average this past season at Ohio Dominican was right around 320, maybe a couple of points above that. Had a big smile on his face when I asked him how his year was. He was happy with it. I got to know Noah, Michael Urquidy, and Coach Kinjair of the Twins quite well last season. I did all of their games. Through this stretch goes Osborne with runners at first and second. Looks back at second, the throw home. Strike 3 called, and down he goes. And I think Bland is frustrated with Doug McClure, the home plate umpire, thinking that one was down low. Instead, down he goes looking. So the Twins leave 2, and after 3.5, it's Mulvane 4, Derby 2. On the Big Talker, KQAM, you're listening to coverage of the 84th NBC World Series.
This bud's for the dream and the people bold enough to pursue it. For those who come from nothing and rise to something. It's for those who take everything this country has to offer and make it their own.
Already. Going for it. No mercy. No mercy. And there you
See you, man. Good to see you. Have fun.
All
right.
Thank you.
All right. If you need an electrical or plumbing service call, give the folks at Faunastock a call. Why? Because you can get $50 off that service call. $50 off a service call for electrical or plumbing. Give the folks at Faunastock a call, 943-HEAT. 943-HEAT as Faunastock brings you coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Dalton Dinkle will lead off for Mulvane, and he's already got a 1 ball, no strike count in his favor because Trevor Smith was not ready to throw the first pitch when the timer expired between innings. So the first pitch from Smith is fouled back and out of play, but the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Between innings, there's a 90-second clock that's running, and the pitcher has to deliver the first pitch of the next half inning before that clock expires. Pitch swung on, hot shot ground ball behind the bag at second. Mendoza dives but can't come up with it. And it'll be a base hit for Dalton Dinkle to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. That clock I was talking about helps keep the pace of play up, 90 seconds between innings. And if the timer expires and the pitcher has not thrown the pitch and he's not ready to, then it's an automatic ball. And if the batter is not in the batter's box ready to go when the timer expires, then it's an automatic strike counted to him. First pitch here to Hunter Aguirre, popped up behind the plate. Joe Scott Pace trying to find some room behind the plate, and he does, right in front of the backstop, and he makes the catch. And there's one away.
Never miss a moment. Special thanks to Dr. Doug Blackman.
The problem for Trevor Smith is not that he necessarily wasn't ready to throw the first pitch of the inning because of anything he had control of. When Joe Scott Pace delivered the ball out to second base at the end of the inning, it was a wild throw that went into center field, and time expired as the Twins were trying to get the ball back into the infield. First pitch to Turner laces a ball, 1 ball and no strikes to him. 4-2 our score. Mulvane's got the lead. Bottom of the 4th inning. Pitch down and away. A fastball at 81 miles an hour from Smith. And the count's now 2 balls and no strikes. Smith stretches again. Looks over at first. And he will fire home. And this one was swung on and lifted. Right center field. Long run for David Renning to his right. But he'll track it down in right center for a fly out to right field, and there's now 2 away. Midwest Kia, Rusty Eck Ford, both sponsors of our 84th NBC World Series coverage. Thanks to the folks at Midwest Kia and Rusty Eck Ford. Here's Mason Goad now, the second baseman. 1 for 1 on the night. He singled back in the 3rd inning. Trevor Smith stretches, delivers home, and that one down and in, and it hit him on the left foot. That was a breaking ball that came right down and hit him right around the shin or the ankle, and Goad down to first base. Well, that's not good if you're Derby and Trevor Smith. That is the number 9 hitter in the order that just got hit by a pitch. And Mason Goad has now been on base twice. He has singled and been hit by a pitch, and that sends us back to the top of the order with Keone Givens. First pitch to Givens, fastball up high for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Givens 0 for 1, reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning, walked in the 1st, but he has scored 2 runs. He reached both times. Through the stretch goes Smith. Another fastball down and away. That one at 81. Trevor Smith a little jumpy after that pitch. I think he's frustrated with himself at the location there. This is a good hitter's pitch with the count 2 balls and no strikes and 2 runners on. Here comes the 2-0, and that one a strike at the knees. A fastball just barely caught the knees, says Doug McClure behind the plate. 2 balls and a strike. 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the 4th inning. Mulvane 4, Derby 2. One of these teams will be 2-0 in pool play at this 84th NBC World Series, as all of these teams this week trying to advance to championship week. Pitch up high for a ball. It was away as well, 3-1. So now Trevor Smith is really playing with fire here as Javis Larson, very dangerous, waits on deck, and Trevor Smith 1 ball away from loading the bases. He'll stretch and look at both runners, deliver home, in tight, ball 4, and indeed they are loaded now. So back-to-back walks issued by Trevor Smith with 2 away. One of them to the number 9 hitter in the order, Mason Goad, and then Keone Givens draws the walk as well. Dalton Dinkle has made his way down to 3rd base. Time has been called, and there will be a conversation out on the mound with the Derby pitching coach and Trevor Smith. There is activity down in the Twins bullpen as well. Trevor Smith came on in relief in the 3rd inning.
At Davis Moore, we pride ourselves on our ability to provide a safe and reliable driving experience to all of our customers. When we say that safety is our top priority, we mean it. That's why every single one of our pre-owned vehicles goes through a 171-point inspection before it ever goes on our lot. And with our Davis Moore 360 guarantee, you can drive forever, worry-free. So let us prove to you that we have the best car care and best customer experience, and why nobody beats a Davis Moore deal. Come by any one of our 5 Davis Moore locations.
Games tomorrow starting at 1:30. Our feature game will have it here at 7 o'clock. Breaking ball pitched to Javis Larson. Down and away, 1 ball, no strikes to him. Larson has been aboard both times tonight. He has walked and singled and scored a pair of runs. The 1-0 pitch. Change up outside, 2 balls and no strikes, and Trevor Smith's body language is not good. He is really frustrated with himself now, and he's not hiding it, put it that way. 2 balls and no strikes. Here comes the pitch. Fastball sent the other way, foul. That's going to slice and land down near the bullpen in left field. In fact, it did land in it. And the count's 2-1.
Be sure and check your website and see WichitaHomes.com for more details.
Javis Larson is from Colorado, but he's playing collegiately in Kansas at Washburn. Pitch inside for a ball. 3 balls and a strike. He is from Arvada, Colorado, and he is also 1 ball away from getting an RBI for a bases-loaded walk. Trevor Smith needs to throw a strike here, and he sends one to the plate. A diving catch at the shortstop position by Torrin Craig, and he makes the play. What a play by Craig at short. A line drive screamer that could have blown the game open. Craig from shortstop diving towards center field, gloved it to retire the side. Boy, if Derby comes back in this one, remember that play as Mulvane leaves him loaded, and Craig, a great diving play at short. We'll go to the 5th. Mulvane 4, Derby 2 at the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker KQAM.
Bets at 316-733-1820.
Don't forget Tuesdays are Taco Tuesdays at Taco Prano. 60-cent tacos at Taco Prano every Tuesday, and also ask them about their Money Saver Combo every day. Taco Prano, 2 Wichita locations, sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. Tyler Mendoza steps in and takes the first pitch from Corbin Osborne for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Osborne ready, delivers again, and this one on the inside edge, a fastball at 81. And the count's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Mendoza's had a nice night, 2 for 2, and he also has stolen a base and scored a run in the 3rd inning. And he sends a hot shot right back up the middle and through into center field for a base hit. That one got right by Osborne and on into center field it went. And Osborne, that one just too quick for him to be able to make a play there. So Tyler Mendoza is now 3 for 3 with 3 singles. He has really helped his team's cause. Now here's Michael Urquidy. And Urquidy did a good job his last time up with a single to right field. He's 1 for 2. Takes the pitch here for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Urquidy struck out swinging in the 1st inning before his 3rd inning single. That, by the way, the first strikeout of the game for Osborne, 1 of just 2 he's thrown on the night. Pitch high to Urquidy, and it's 2-0. Michael Urquidy's a left-handed batter. Steps out, takes a deep breath, then back in, pounds the wooden bat on the plate. As Osborne looks at first base, and here we go. And one in there beautifully, a fastball at 82. Taken for a strike, 2-1. Michael Urquidy, toward the end of last season, in the regular season, had a serious ankle injury, sliding into a bag at second base down at Oklahoma. He missed the entire end of the regular season after that and part of the World Series. Hot shot here to first, snared on a hop by Lace, steps on the bag, throws to second. The tag is there. What a play. A 3-6 double play. And there was no force at second base. Lace stepped on the bag at first. So Williams had to tag the base runner Mendoza and did just that. What a great play both by Lace and the shortstop Williams to catch that one and have the presence of mind to apply the tag. So just like that, 2 away here in the inning for Colton Eager, the designated hitter. Osborne back to the windup now, delivers. Eager bounces one just outside the line at first. No balls and a strike to Eager. Well, that was perfectly placed for Turner Lace to do just what he did. It was a bouncing ball, and he was right over the bag at first when he picked it up off the hop, then just stepped on the bag almost in a natural motion, then used the bag to catapult him towards second base to get a little momentum on the throw. And Then the tag was applied by the shortstop Williams. Pitch down and in the dirt. Blocked well by Caleb Cox behind the plate. 1 ball and a strike, the count to Colton Eager. Eager 1 for 2. His third inning single was pretty. Went the opposite way between short and third. Takes a ball here. 2 balls and a strike, the count. Eager from North Richland Hills, Texas, attending Abilene Christian University. Sends this one foul over toward the third base dugout. That's Abilene Christian in Abilene, Texas, not Abilene, Kansas. Abilene Christian for many years was a very strong Division II program that a few years ago moved up to the Division I level, and they now compete in the Southwind Conference. Pitch taken for a ball, and the count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a full count with 2 outs, nobody on. Here comes the pitch to Eager, outside, ball 4. That was a fastball that just missed away, and Eager will get a free pass. Down to first base he goes. So Marcus Page will step in now.
And most of all, we're passionate about helping our members achieve their financial goals. First baseman number 12, Marquise Page.
Page is 1 for 2. A double in the second inning, then reached on a fielder's choice in the third. A fly ball here toward short. Drifting over toward the bag, Channing Williams.
Leonard Skinner, last of the Street Survivors Farewell Tour. Saturday, September 29th in Trust Bank Arena. With special guest, the Marshall Tucker Band, Leonard Skinner, on their final tour ever. Tickets are on sale now at selectaseat.com, the venue box office, or charged by phone. Leonard Skinner, playing in Trust Bank Arena one last time.
You give people with disabilities and other barriers purpose, pride, and dignity. Learn more about how Goodwill helps create a stronger community at goodwillks.org, and check out your program for money-saving coupons to use on your next visit to Goodwill. Your attention now, pitching for the Derby Twins, number 11, Avery Reed-Miller.
Well, it's an exciting time, you would think, for the new pitcher for the Derby Twins, the 4th that they've used tonight, because it's a Newman University product, Avery Reed-Miller, that's come into the game. And Reed-Miller will start the bottom of the 4th inning for the Twins. Mulvane leads the Twins by the score of 4-2. And Channing Williams will start things off for Mulvane, then Devin Beard and Caleb Cox. 3, 4, and 5 in the order for the Patriots. So Avery Reed-Miller, going through some of his final warm-up tosses, is a right-handed pitcher from Wichita. He went to Independent and is a sophomore at Newman University. Reed-Miller still getting in some of his final warm-up tosses. We want to thank Cherry Oaks Golf Course in Cheney for sponsoring the 84th NBC World Series and our coverage of it here on KQAM. Also, Team Electric. We appreciate Team Electric's sponsorship of NBC World Series and Shire Graphics as well. Thanks to those 3 sponsors. Don't forget, in the 7th inning, we'll have our Champs Sports Bar and Grill drawing. Somebody's going to win a free meal from Champs in the 7th inning. That's a hamburger, French fries, and a drink at Champs, who has some outstanding hamburgers out there on South Seneca. So stay tuned. That'll happen in inning number 7. So Channing Williams steps in. Right-handed batter to lead off the bottom of the 5th, and he smokes one to the gap. Left center field. This one is going to get caught by Noah Bland, diving towards center field. What a play by Bland. And that is 3 highlight plays defensively by the Twins tonight, as Bland on the dead run to his left, diving towards center field, leaped in the air and caught that one beautifully. What a play by Bland. Boy, the plays this Twins team has made. One by the right fielder, David Renning, earlier in the game. Torrin Craig, the shortstop, a diving catch at a liner earlier with the bases loaded. One away. Here's Devin Beard taking a breaking ball for a strike. 1 ball and no strike. Boy, Bland just on the run. Terrific right there. Reed Miller set and sends this one high over on the right side toward the first base dugout. Marquise Page is over. Does he have room? He doesn't. It lands just outside the railing on the first base side. And the count is no balls and a strike to Devin Beard. Beard had the big blow for Mulvane in the third inning that gave the Patriots their 2-run lead back. It was a 2 RBI single that gave Mulvane the lead they've got now, 4-2. No balls and 2 strikes the count, and a fastball is swung on and fouled back. Out of play, still 0-2. Mulvane scored 2 runs in the first inning, thanks in large part to a pair of throwing errors by Derby starting pitcher Connor Dove. Derby came back with single runs in the second and the third to tie the score, and then the 2 spot for Mulvane in the bottom of the third inning. That's where we are now, 4-2. Pitch away to Beard, and the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Through the wind, and the pitch from Reed Miller, swung on and lifted, right side, slicing over the railing, just outside of the bullpen in right field, the Derby bullpen. David Renning was over, but couldn't find enough real estate to make that catch. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Temperature at 78 degrees right now. You can hear the crickets chirping off into the distance. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Liner, well struck, left field. Bland going back, and he's going to run out of room as it's going to bounce off the bottom of the fence. Heading down to second base with a frozen rope double is Devin Beard. Noah Bland was on the dead run right there, but he just could not get there in time before that banged off the bottom of the fence. And on at second base is Devin Beard. So that'll bring up Caleb Cox. Avery Reed Miller in 2017 did not pitch much at Newman. He pitched in just 1 complete inning. He appeared in 2 games, but has a total of 1 inning's work. Pitch to Caleb Cox. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-1. Caleb Cox 0 for 2, a pair of groundouts, 1 to third, 1 to second. Runner at second. Reed Miller looks that way, delivers home, and a line drive center field. That'll be a base hit. Devin Beard rounding third. He's going to be waved home. There'll be no throw to the plate. It's an RBI single for Cox, and it's 5-2. Mulvane's got the lead.
Designated hitter number 29, Dalton Dinkle.
Well, that's back-to-back now. Really well-struck balls for Mulvane is right now Avery Reed Miller not fooling anybody. Devin Beard the double, then right there, Caleb Cox, the hard-hit single to center field, and Mulvane's got their first 3-run lead of the night. Now here's Dalton Dinkle, the designated hitter, taking up high for a ball, 1-0. Dinkle's got a base hit tonight, that in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2. Sends this one foul over toward one of the suites here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. And I think that banged off one of the windows, or maybe the railing in front of the suite. Fans scrambling out there. Again, a nice crowd tonight. Even up in the suites, you got a lot of people here, and why not? With a night like tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Another one sent foul and on a play. I mentioned a while ago you can hear the crickets. There are a lot of trees outside the fence here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. See if you can hear the crickets chirping. Not sure if you could tell or not. You can certainly tell with the ears up here. Lifted, foul, right side. And this one's going to get out of play as well down there where the folks are enjoying some beverages in foul territory down the right side. So the count 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dalton Dinkle. Dinkle is from Wichita and attending Cowley County Community College. Big, tall, right-handed batter. Got his right foot at the back of the right-handed batter's box and his left foot about 4/5 the way up to the front of it. A wide open stance. Tried to check his swing there and did not. He went around and down he goes. And that's a strikeout for Avery Reedmiller. First strikeout for him. 2 outs in the inning, and Hunter Aguirre will step in now. 5-2, Mulvane's got the lead. Bottom half of inning number 5. Up to the plate now, Hunter Aguirre, who's flied out twice tonight, once to left and once to the catcher, and he pops this one up in foul territory. It's going to sail out of play over on the third base side. That was over the dugout, and Zach Smith, the third baseman, came charging over, but that one nowhere close to the playing field. 0-1 to Aguirre. Aguirre's a left-handed hitter. He's out of Oklahoma City and playing collegiately at Oklahoma City University. Fastball, outside edge, a strike, a delayed steal. Down to second goes the runner, and a stolen base for Caleb Cox. So Cox gets the swipe of second base, and now a single could give Mulvane a 4-run lead with a runner at second base. 5-2 our score, bottom half of inning number 5. Through the stretch goes Reedmiller. He'll deliver home. A breaking ball lifted left side. Noah Bland comes in on it now after a delayed start to get a beat on it. He'll track it down, and the side is retired. But Mulvane scratches across another on an RBI single by Caleb Cox. We'll go to the 6th. Patriots 5, Twins 2. On the Big Talker KQAM, this is the 84th NBC World Series.
You learn with hands-on techniques how to integrate networks, design video games, fly a drone, build computers, or learn to protect them with cybersecurity. After learning these state-of-the-art skills, you can enter the job market immediately. Let's take tomorrow at Butler Community College. Visit butlercc.edu. Down to the field to Elise with all the racing action.
And I've got 4 young sons out here with the need for speed. Alrighty, you guys ready to race the laces?
Davis Liquor sponsoring our coverage of the 84th NBC World Series. Thanks to them. Midwest Kia and Rusty Eck Ford, also a couple of our great sponsors. Thanks to them, all of them, for helping the Big Talker KQAM bring you action from the 84th NBC World Series. Here we go now to the 6th inning. Mulvane leading Derby by the score of 5-2, and David Renning will step in now. And Renning takes the first pitch for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Renning, then Torrid Craig and Joe Scott Pace, 6, 7, and 8. As Renning takes another ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Renning singled his last time up. And the 2-0 taken on the outside edge. He didn't like that. It was a strike on an off-speed pitch, 2-1. Renning is the one that was between second and third on a batted ball, but was called out because the bouncing ball hit him about halfway between second and third. And that ended, or helped end, a possible rally for the Derby Twins. Here's a fly ball, shallow center field. The shortstop, Channing Williams, tracks it down. And there's the first out of the inning. So Torrin Craig is in now. I mentioned earlier Corbin Osborne, the pitcher for Mulvane, started his college career at Butler Community College up in El Dorado. And that first year there, his only year at Butler, in fact, his first year pitching collegiately, he was outstanding. First pitch to Torrin Craig is a good one. Breaking ball tailing down and in to the right-handed hitter, and Craig offered, and he was fooled, 0-1. But Corbin Osborne was 10-3 in his freshman year of college at Butler. He pitched in 77 innings, winning 10 and losing just 3. Bouncing ball foul beyond the third base dugout, 0-2. In 77 innings his freshman year at Butler, Osborne had 53 strikeouts and an earned run average of 2.55. And he also led his team in both wins and complete games. That was in 2015. Pitch chopped at the plate, foul, and the count's 0-2. He also had 3 complete games the next year in 2016. Although his record was not as impressive at 3-7, neither was his ERA at 4.75. Pitch away for a ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But he's also been a All-Jayhawk Conference pitcher, first team, and also made the President's Honor Roll his freshman year in 2015. So he's been a good student as well. Pitch down and away, the count's even now 2-2. I mentioned earlier Osborne left Butler and then went to Arkansas Little Rock for his junior year in 2017. The 2-2, big swing and a miss, 85-mile-an-hour fastball, and Craig strikes out swinging, 2 away. And that is just the 3rd strikeout issued by Corbin Osborne. He has not been blowing people away, but he did blow that one by Torrin Craig for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 outs now for the catcher, Joe Scott Pace. And a changeup, swung on and missed. Good job right now by Osborne. He's really mixing up his pitches. He came at 85 to strike out Torrin Craig with a fastball, then took a lot off right there, and Pace was out in front. Now Pace out in front again, bounces 1 foul outside the bag at 3rd. And also Osborne is ahead of the hitters. It's 0-2 here. He was also ahead 0-2 to Torrin Craig, who he eventually struck out. And he's not really losing any velocity. 85 miles an hour is about the max that we've seen from him all night long, and he just threw that to strike out Torrin Craig a couple of pitches ago. In fact, there's one at 86 that just barely missed inside. Osborne was heading back to the third base dugout, and he's barking at the home plate umpire now, or maybe asking where that was. I presume it was inside. The 1-2, and a changeup there misses away. 2-2. Boy, he had a very similar motion to his fastball there, but that one came outside. 2-2, nobody on, 2 outs. Top of the 6th inning. Pitch swung on, bouncing ball over to 3rd on a couple of hops. Devin Beard is there. He'll throw to 1st.
Good evening and welcome to the NBC Tournament. I'm KSN Storm Track 3 meteorologist Rodney Price. We'll be a little bit on the humid side for this evening, a couple of passing clouds, but otherwise temperatures cooling back from the lower 80s, but rain-free. Any rain chances for tonight look to move in well after midnight. We'll be back into the mid-60s, waking up Monday morning. In the afternoon, after a couple of morning showers, we're going to see a few passing clouds. 83 degrees, not a bad Monday to start the day, and not a bad finish to the end of July either. It's going to be very comfortable for the next several days. Enjoy your evening at the ballpark.
Woodspring Hotels has 2 great brands for guests to choose from. Woodspring Suites and Value Place, offering students, players, and sports fans affordable accommodations for a week or longer. There's 3 suite layouts to accommodate 1 person or a few, all with kitchens. And we provide our guests with just what they need.
Ready for the bottom of inning number 6. 5-2 our score. The Mulvane Patriots trying to get to 2-0 in pool play of this NBC World Series over the Derby Twins. And another pitcher for Derby is the Twins have now brought out Jesse Schmidt, who's a product of Queen Creek, Arizona, and Utah Valley State is taking some warm-up tosses out on the hill right now. So Schmidt, yet another pitcher used for Derby. Now, we've talked about it many times already the first few nights here that this World Series is really a battle of attrition when it comes to pitching staffs, and having pitchers, enough of them, with enough innings left to last you for a 2-week tournament. I mean, that's what you want to do. That's the objective if you're going to win this thing, is to be around for 2 weeks. But tonight, the Twins going through a number of pitchers, trying to keep Mulvane at bay. And right now, it's Jesse Schmidt's job to keep this at a 3-run game, 5-2, as we start the bottom half of inning number 6. Turner Lay steps in. First pitch from Schmidt, down and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Jesse Schmidt has not yet pitched with Utah Valley State. He has just recently signed there. 1 ball and 1 strike now, the count to Turner Lace. Be ready in right field, David Renning, as Lace has flied out twice to Renning in right. 75-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch taken for a strike, and it's 1-2. One of those 2 flyouts to right field. Renning made an outstanding diving catch into the bullpen of Derby, getting the jersey dirty, but a headfirst dive to retire Lace. Here, Lace is retired now on a strikeout looking. So a good job by Jesse Schmidt. First batter he sees, Turner Lace, goes down looking, 1 away. So Mason Goad steps in now. 5 runs on 6 hits for the Patriots of Mulvane. 2 runs, 9 hits for Derby, but the Twins have committed a couple of errors. There's a liner to first. Marquise Page right there snares it for a quick second out. That was a slicing right line drive to Page, and pretty easy for him just to stick out the glove. Jesse Schmidt started his career at South Mountain Community College, where he had a 1.84 earned run average in 2018. So he was terrific. Then right after the season, just a couple of months ago, in fact, signed with Utah Valley State. Breaking ball down and away to Keone Givens, the leadoff batter in the order for Mulvane. Now a breaking ball, the first pitch is strike, and now it's 1-1. Evans has been on base all 3 times tonight. Change up down for a ball. And the count's 2 balls and a strike. Keone Evans led off the bottom of the first inning with a walk, scored later in the inning. He reached on an error in the 3rd, then walked again in the 4th. Fastball swung on, bouncing ball to short, to his right. Torrin Craig can't come up with it, and it's on into left field for a base hit.
Right fielder number 8, Javis Larson.
Torrin Craig looked like he timed that slide pretty well on this turf. He went to his right, slid down to a knee, but he might have just not gotten the glove down quite far enough, or perhaps it was a little bit too far outside of his outstretched arm. Either way, that's a 2-out base hit for Keone Givens. Now a threat to steal with 2 away. Here's Javis Larson. And Larson takes a pitch in there for a strike, 0-1 to him. Larson has been on base in 2 of his 3 plate appearances with a single and a walk. Throw over to first, fairly close play. Schmidt's got a pretty good move, but back diving in, Keone Givens. Javis Larson singled in the first inning, then went all the way from first to third base on a throwing error by the pitcher Jack Engelman, who tried to pick him off. Instead, the throw went all the way down into right field, into foul territory in right field. 1 ball and a strike now, the count to Larson. 5-2 Mulvane with the lead over Derby. As Schmidt goes through the stretch, checks over his left shoulder. There goes the runner, the pitch, high and away. The throw down to second, a bounce in, and a tag is there. Joe Scott Pace bounced it in, but accurately for Torrin Craig to play the 1-hop, apply the tag. The putout goes 2-6, and the side retired. We'll go to the 7th, Mulvane 5, Derby 2 on the Big Talker KQAM. This is the 84th NBC World Series. On to the 7th inning now from Lawrence Dumont Stadium. 5-2, the Mulvane Patriots over the Derby Twins. Zach Smith to get it started for Derby, the number 9 hitter in the Panthers order. Then back to the top of the order with Noah Bland and Tyler Mendoza. Corbin Osborne has been really good tonight, and he'll deliver the first pitch to Smith that misses for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Smith is 1 for 2. He's flied out and singled and sends this one high and deep left field. This one is back. Aguirre going back to the warning track, and it's going to bounce off the bottom of the wall. And Smith is rounding second. He's not going to stop there. Head first dive at third. He's safe with a leadoff triple. Boy, out of the 9 spot, how about that? Zach Smith, the third baseman for Derby, sending one deep to the gap, and there was no doubt in his mind once he got to second base he was rounding third, and why not? Hunter Aguirre, a long way to go to get to that one, as it's about 380 feet from the plate, so a long way to run for Aguirre from left to chase that one down underneath the wall in left center. And Smith is on at third base. Now Noah Bland sends a bouncing ball out to short. That's going to get the run home. Bland is retired, 6-3, but he'll get an RBI. A run scores for Derby, and it's now a 5-3 ball game. Well, there's still time for Derby to just chip away here now. Only down 2 runs as Tyler Mendoza will step in. And Mendoza's swinging the hot stick for Derby. He is 3 for 3. Bounces this one at the plate foul. 0-1. 3 singles for Mendoza. In the 3rd inning, he singled and scored a run. He also has a stolen base to his credit. That base hit, by the way, by Zach Smith, the 10th hit of the night for Derby. So the Twins have gotten into double figures in hits. They still are 2 runs shy of tying Mulvane. Breaking ball in there on the outside corner. It's a strike. 0-2. Good pitch by Osborne. Still continuing to mix up his pitches well. And the 0-1. That one comes in down low, and the count's now 1 ball and 1 strike. But Tyler Mendoza, a nice player out of Georgetown, Texas, and Paris Community College, up in the northeastern part of the state. This one bounced up the third baseline, and it's going to trickle foul. So the count's 1-2. Derby has 3 innings where they've scored a single run. The 2nd, the 3rd, and here in the 7th. Another one bounced foul outside the bag at 3rd. In between Tyle Hankins, the assistant coach for Derby, and the bag. So we do it again. Osborne ready, fastball, high and away. He was working at the letters, the outside edge, and another one where I think he thought he delivered a strike. Instead, it's 2-2. Osborne winds, delivers the 2-2. This one swung on, lifted. Towering fly ball, right field. Shallow right. Larson coming on. And he's under it to make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. So that's the first time tonight that Tyler Mendoza has been retired. And now Michael Urquidy. Well, this game has gotten to the stage where no matter what happens, Corbin Osborne has done his job. He's gotten his team into the 7th inning, helped preserve some relief pitchers for Mulvane's next action, which will be Tuesday night. Breaking ball in for a strike to Urquidy, 0-1. Through the line goes Osborne. Now a fastball catches the outside edge. That one at 81. 0-2. There is activity down in the Mulvane bullpen, by the way. But the Patriots will take that as Osborne 1 out away from getting his bullpen another full inning of rest. Urquidy swings, hot shot up the middle, base hit. And Michael Urquidy, a 2-out single, is on at first base. So that'll bring Colton Eager to the plate. And things could get a little interesting right here. Michael Urquidy, very good speed on at first base with 2 outs. And a good hitter, Colton Eager, up there. So let's see if the Twins might try and send Urquidy with 2 outs here in the inning. Osborne to Eager, and this one is chopped weakly out in front of the plate, and it's got a lot of backspin on it, and it rolls foul. Boy, that one had a lot of backspin on it after it hit out in front of the plate, and it looked like for a second it might be in no man's land, about 8 feet out in front of home plate, but that high bounce, and it had a lot of English on it, and it trickled back outside the line at third. That would not have happened if this were not an all-turf infield. But Eager got a break right there and stays alive. I mentioned Michael Urquidy, possibility to steal here. He did have 1 stolen base, and he was successful on Friday night in the Panther victory over Northwest Arizona. Change up in for a strike, and Osborne's ahead in the count, 0-2. Derby is now out hit Mulvane by 4, but trails by 2. Here comes the pitch. Soft little liner over the bag at second. Diving play by Williams behind the bag. Then the throw to first is wild. And everybody's safe. Down to third goes Urquidy. And safe at first base is Eager. And Derby now with runners at the corners and still 2 away. As the inning stays alive for the Twins. And they've already put an error up on the scoreboard. That's what allowed Urquidy to go from second to third base. So don't sleep on the Twins just yet, as they've got the tying run at first and the potential go-ahead run at the plate in Marquise Page, who does present a possibility to send one out. He nearly did it his first time up. He hit a high, towering fly ball to deep left field that hit the base of the wall. And out there in left field where the fence really juts out too, to the farthest part of left field, without it being a home run. If he does that here, Derby's got the lead. So Urquidy's at third, Eager's at first, 2 outs. Marquise Page is up there. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter, conversation over on the mound. And the relief pitcher for Mulvane is ready. Whoever that is standing there watching the action now, as had been up pitching for the last several minutes. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch to Page is down low for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes to Page. Marquise Page is from Las Vegas, attending Northwest Oklahoma State. Through this stretch goes Osborne. The 2-0 pitch to Page is down low. And the count's now 3-0. So Page will likely be taking right here, then should get a really good pitch to hit following that if this is a strike. Here comes the 3-0. It is a strike. Page actually lunged it like he almost was thinking about swinging, but laid off, and it's 3-1. And he almost looked frustrated, like he wanted to swing at it. It was a pitch right in the wheelhouse. Throw to first, and it's wild. It's down to the right field bullpen. Urquidy's going to score. Eager's going to motor to third. It's a 5-4 game now, and Derby's got a runner at third base. And what is it about pitchers throwing to first base tonight? That's the 3rd error on a pitcher in a pickoff attempt over at first base. 2 of them committed by Derby in the first inning. And Corbin Osborne, a costly one there. It scores a run and sends Colton Eager from first to third base. 3 balls and a strike to Page. Swings at this one and fouls it back behind the plate. That's going to be over the screen. And the count is still full at 3-2. So Derby has their first multiple run inning of the night, and they've pulled to within 1 at 5-4. Page is a right-handed batter. Left-handed pitching, Corbin Osborne. Trouble here in the 7th. Off-speed pitch, breaking ball, and Page barely got a piece of it and fouled it over toward the on-deck circle on the first base side. Count still full at 3-2. Don't forget, the bottom of the 7th will be our Champs Sports Bar and Grill giveaway. We'll give away a hamburger, French fries, and a drink to one person. Stay tuned for that in the bottom half of this inning. 3-2 pitch again, bounces in, that's ball 4. And down to first base goes Page, and that's going to do it for Corbin Osborne.
Right fielder number 9.
Well, Osborne got his team into the 7th inning, but he is not the same this inning as he has just walked Marquise Page, a throwing error at first base as well. He gave up a leadoff triple to Zach Smith. His night is done.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you guys there. I was just checking out the NBC World Series' new app. You could find this app at the App Store. All you need to do is type in NBCWS to be caught up on all things NBC World Series.
NBC World Series, it all happens here.
Well, the Mulvane Patriots have brought in a Mulvane product out of the bullpen to try and stop the bleeding for the Patriots here in the top of the 7th inning. It's Mason LeClaire, a right-hander, out there going through some warm-up tosses for the Patriots. LeClaire went to high school in Mulvane. He actually played briefly in these World Series, in fact, for the Derby Twins at the end of the season. He did not play with them for much of the regular season, but he was with them in the World Series. This year, LeClaire has been a member of the Mulvane Patriots. He started his college career at North Carolina Greensboro, then came a lot closer to home where he attended Emporia State this past season. Put up some really nice numbers, too. Just 12 2/3 innings pitched, but a 1.42 ERA. So LeClaire will have to contend with David Renning, who's 1 for 3 tonight. But here's the situation. Runners at first and third for Derby. The runner at third is Colton Eager. He represents the tying run. And LeClaire's first pitch to Renning is outside for a ball. A fastball at 87. 1 ball and no strikes. LeClaire is not a big guy, but he does throw hard. Only 170 pounds. He's listed at 6'1". Doesn't look that tall from here. But he is thin, but can bring some steam. There's a fastball at 87. We may have seen one pitch the entire night at 87, and already LeClaire has thrown 2, and both of them at 87. 2-0. He's missed both times, and he does again up high, and it's 3-0. 5-4. Mulvane with the lead over Derby, but the Panthers have plated 2 in the inning, and the tying run is 90 feet away, and Colton Eager. 3 balls, no strikes, and LeClaire delivers here and delivers high, ball 4. That one was just above the letters and across, and they are loaded now for the Derby Panthers. That's back-to-back walks issued by Mulvane pitchers. So Marquise Page down to second base, Renning's at first, Colton Eager still at third base, and here's Torrin Craig now. Craig's got a base hit tonight, and the Twins would Love to see him come through with another. Now a single to the outfield could give Derby the lead, something they've not had all night long. There's another ball outside at 86 miles an hour. And that's where LeClaire continues to miss, is to the outside with his fastballs, 1-0. And this one does catch the outer edge. He took a little bit off at 84 and found the outer half. 1 ball and 1 strike to Torrin Craig. Craig struck out his last time up. He grounded out to short in the second inning, but did pick up an RBI in the process. The 1-1 chopped at the plate, foul. And the count's 1-2. So the base is full of Derby Twins. Top of the 7th inning. Mulvane 5, Derby 4. It's been a good one tonight. Mulvane had a 3-run lead to start this 7th inning, but it's been whittled away down to 1. Through the stretch, LeClaire, the throw home, breaking ball outside. That was a slider at 75, and the count's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners get their leads. Nobody on the infield worrying about them defensively with 2 outs in the inning. LeClaire's pitch home, foul and out of play. And that one again over in the area of the suites. On the first base side, the count's 2-2. Mason LeClaire, this past season at Emporia State, walked just 2 batters in 12 2/3 innings, but struck out 17. 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the pitch. Way outside, and the count's now full at 3-2. So here we go. Biggest pitch of the game right here. Bases loaded, full count, 2 away. Top of the 7th inning, 5-4 Mulvane's got the lead, but Derby will send the runners with the pitch in motion. Here they go, the 3-2. Swung on, bouncing ball to right. Nice one-hop play by the second baseman, Good. He'll turn around and throw to first in time. Mason Good, a backhand in shallow right, then fires to first for a 4-3, and Derby leaves him loaded. Stretch time, we've got a good one at Lawrence Dumont to score. Mulvane 5, Derby 4. On the Big Talker, this is the 84th NBC World Series.
God bless America, courtesy of K-Tag.
The city's not just built, it's grown to the needs of people. You make the infrastructure, muscle, bone, and circulation so natural to the body of the city that you almost forget they're even there.
God bless America here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning in a 5-4 game. A good one tonight as the Mulvane Patriots have a 1-run lead over the Derby Twins. And now we've got Mike Dean playing Take Me Out to the Ball Game on the harmonica. Let's listen into that as well. All right, some of the festivities here at the 84th NBC World Series. We've got the Mulvane Patriots leading the Derby Twins by the score of 5-4. And now it's time for our Champ Sports giveaway. All right, get your dialing fingers ready. 721-8255 is the number. 721-8255. We're going to take the first caller to that number. David Mitchell standing by. You'll win a free meal from Champ Sports Bar and Grill. 721-8255. First caller to that number will win a free meal from Champ Sports Bar and Grill. It includes a hamburger, french fries, and a drink. Good one tonight again. To the bottom of the seventh we go. Mulvane 5, Derby 4. As Derby has out-hit the Patriots by 12-7, but the Twins down a run, and they were just one run shy of tying this game up. So here's Jameis Larson now, who will lead things off for the Patriots. Larson was at the plate in the last inning when Keone Givens was caught stealing, so he will try it again. And the first pitch outside is for a ball, 1-0. Derby also has a new pitcher in the game. Caleb Honey is in out of Queen Creek, Arizona, Northwest Oklahoma State. And Honey has thrown 2, and he's missed outside and in, 2 balls and no strikes. So Derby, yet another relief pitcher. And this one is fouled back and out of play, and the count's now 2-1. Each team has committed 2 errors in the ball game, and they have been costly. And the pitch now misses, and the count's 3-1. Final game of the night. They adjusted the schedule today to make this the final game, and the first one started at 11. Line drive left field, Bland coming on, and he's going to try and scoop that one up, and he does before it touches the turf. What another great play by Noah Bland in left field on a sinking line drive, and Bland comes up with it. Great job by the Twins, Noah Bland in left field. He made a diving catch earlier in the game towards center field, this time in front of him, catching the sinking liner, and there's one away for Channing Williams. Boy, have the Twins had some great defensive plays here tonight. First pitch now to Channing Williams, lifted into center field. That'll get down, that'll be a base hit. So a single for Williams, and Devin Beard steps up now. So now Mulvane looking for some insurance here. A lot of baseball left with the Patriots leading 5-4 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Time has been called momentarily. Beard steps out. And now back in again. 8th hit of the game for the Mulvane Patriots. Channing Williams single to center field. Pitch down low to Beard. 1 ball and no strikes, the count to Beard. Beard's had a busy night. Singled in the 3rd inning, brought home 2, then doubled in the 5th inning. So he is 2 for 3. Through the stretch, Honey off speed, lifted, right side, foul territory, running a long run again. Similar location to where he made a great diving catch earlier, but can't get to this one in time, and it bounces out of play. And the count's now 1-1. So retreating at first base is Williams. And Beard will try it again. And another one, similar location, right side. That's going to tail out of play. And the count's now 1-2. Devin Beard came around to score after his 5th inning double. He was brought home on Caleb Cox's RBI single. Mulvane trying to get another one home here to increase their one-run lead. And the pitch swung on, bouncing ball to short. Craig is there to second for one. The relay to first in time, a 6-4-3 double play. And just like that, the Twins get out of the inning, and they're right back up, only down one. So we'll go to the 8th. Mulvane 5, Derby 4. This is the 84th NBC World Series on the Big Talker, KQAM.
Mount up, take off, and chase the sun. Experience more of what makes Kansas great. And let K-Tag help you get there. 236 miles of road, endless destinations of wonder. Start your adventure with K-Tag. Get your free K-Tag at myktag.com.
Unfortunately. Oh, I understand. Well, after the Mulvane Patriots maintained the momentum throughout most of the night, you'd have to say it shifted drastically now towards the Derby Twins as they scored 2 in the 7th inning and just turned a 6-4-3 double play to get us now to the top of the 8th inning with Derby stepping up again. And 1 run is all the Twins need to tie this thing up. This is a critical game for these two teams, as each of them looking to go to 2-0 in the pool play of this tournament. Of course, again, the format, all of the 16 teams playing in the first week of the NBC, trying to survive in next week's championship week. There will be 4 teams that will. The winners of each pool will advance to the championship week next week. And so you only get a few chances to try and get to championship week, play 3 games in pool play, and then after that they determine who moves on. So a big difference between being 1-1 and 2-0, and that's the stakes we've got for these two teams here tonight. So we go to the 8th now. Cole Larson, the new pitcher for the Mulvane Patriots out of Concordia, Kansas, and Cowley Community College. He's a right-handed pitcher, and the first batter he'll face is in there now, and that's Joe Scott Pace, the catcher, who takes the first pitch for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Pace, then Zach Smith and Noah Bland, 8-9-1 for Derby in the order. And the pitch in there for a strike from Larson to Pace, called a strike, 1-1. He works from the windup and delivers, and a swing and a miss for a strike. Larson comes from about 3/4 delivery. He's not straight overhand, he's not sidearm, it's more of a 3/4 angle. And he's ready, and here comes the 1-2 pitch, way outside, a fastball at 86. And the count's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. Larson, and the pitch to Pace, swung on, fouled back out of play, and the count holds 2-2. Larson again, quick worker, delivers, swung on and missed, strike 3. Looked like a breaking ball that Pace went after and comes up empty, and he's a strikeout victim to start the 8th inning. So 1 out now for Zach Smith. Smith has had a very productive night out of the 9 spot for the Twins. He tripled his last time up and singled in the 4th inning, showing bunt here, and then ends up being a strike, 0-1. Nobody on, 1 out, top of the 8th inning, and a 5-4 dandy tonight from Lawrence Dumont Stadium on a beautiful night for baseball. 77 degrees. There's been no wind all night. Pitch down and away for a ball. 1-1 to Zach Smith. Larson delivers. Smith, hot shot to short, fielded nicely though by Williams. Goes down to a knee, gets up, fires to first in time. Nicely done by Channing Williams, 2 away. Well, on this turf, a lot of bouncing balls and ground balls that may look relatively routine. That's not always what ends up being the case because the spin is more noticeable. The speed of the bounce makes it a little bit more challenging to field, and so that was a nice play by Channing Williams at short on a speedy ground ball. Pitch down low to Noah Bland. 1 ball and no strikes. Bland is 0 for 4 tonight, but Noah does have a run batted in. That his last time up when he grounded out to short. Takes his strike here. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch is down, and the count's now 2-1. Again, Larson working quickly, and Bland sends this one foul out of play on the right side. I mentioned earlier what a nice crowd we've had here tonight, and they are certainly, for the most part, staying around for this 1-run game as we're in the 8th inning. 2 local teams, so that would stand to make sense. Pitch down and away for a ball, and Bland has now worked the count full at 3-2. Tyler Mendoza's had a nice night, 3 hits on the evening. He waits on deck. Big pitch here, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Larson to Bland, fouled back and out of play. Yeah, if Bland gets aboard right here with 2 outs, things could get a little fun. Great threat to steal, good contact hitter at the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes, we'll see what happens. 3-2 pitch, ball 4 outside. 83 miles an hour. Larson did not miss by much, but indeed Bland on at first base. And he represents the tying run. So Tyler Mendoza is in now.
Second baseman number 3, Tyler Mendoza.
Singles in the 1st, 3rd, and the 5th innings for Mendoza. He scored a run in the 3rd and also stole second in the 1st inning. Takes down low for a ball, 1-0. The only time he's recorded an out was his last time up when he flied to right field, so he is 3 for 4. Nice turnaround after a hitless 0 for 4 Friday night. The 1-0 chopped at the plate foul. And the count's now even, 1 ball and 1 strike. So Noah Bland back toward the bag at first. Now starts to step away. Turner Lace, the first baseman, there in case of a throw over. Through the stretch goes Larson, the righty. And the pitch home, down and in for a ball. And the count's 2-1. Stretching again. Larson, there goes the runner, the pitch home. It's a strike, the throw nowhere close. Bland slides in safely head first. And Noah Bland with a stolen base, and there it is, the tying run. Now in scoring position for the Twins with Noah Bland out at second base. So 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs, but a single, and Tyler Mendoza's done that 3 times tonight. We would be talking about very possibly and likely a tie ball game. 2-2. Here comes the pitch to Mendoza. It's down low, and the count's now full at 3-2. Michael Urquidy waits on deck. So a big pitch here, 3-2 with 2 away. Derby desperately trying to get that 5th run of the game scratched across, but just 4 outs left. Here's the 3-2. Bouncing ball foul outside the bag at third. There's the pitch outside. That is ball 4. And down to first base goes Mendoza. That's the 4th time tonight he's reached base. And Noah Bland was running on the pitch, and he steals third. So there's a no-doubter now, even if it's a single to the infield, that Noah Bland likely will score. He's at third base. And now the tying run 90 feet away. As time has been called, coach out of the dugout for the Mulvane Patriots. But this Derby Twin team has just been pesky tonight, hanging around. They were down 2 early and tied it up in the 3rd. Then they fell down by 3 runs in the 5th inning, 5-2. And then, not long after that, the top of the 7th, they came scratching back to make it 5-4. And now here they are, Michael Urquidy up in the top of the 8th inning with 2 outs. And the potential game-tying run 90 feet away with Bland down at third base. So the conversation was short, sweet, and to the point out on the hill, and here we go. Michael Urquidy is in. He's got 2 base hits on the night, so he's 2 for 4. Bland playing around over at third, getting his lead as Urquidy first pitch swings and sends one out of play, 0-1. Urquidy singles came in the 3rd and the 7th inning. The 0-1 is a changeup outside, and the count's now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Cole Larson, 6'1", 170-pound righty. Delivers again. Urquidy swung on, drive left field. Coming on is the left fielder, and that's going to be Aguirre, and he can't come up with it, or did he? He did! What a great catch! Hunter Aguirre diving forward in left field, and Tyle Hankins.
Kansas Gas Service delivers natural gas to many of the companies you know, ensuring they have the energy they need to grow and build strong communities, providing cost-effective, safe, and reliable natural gas for a better tomorrow today. Kansas Gas Service.
Well, we have seen some defensive gems tonight. 3 of them come to mind, 4 of them really by the Derby Twins, but none bigger than the one pulled off out in left field by Hunter Aguirre for the Mulvane Patriots to end a potential threat for the Derby Twins in the bottom of the last inning. Or the top of it, excuse me, but Derby was trying to tie the score at 5 apiece or then some. Instead, we stay at 5-4, and now Caleb Cox, hot shot to short, nice play. Torrin Craig to his left, sliding down, fielding and throwing to first. Boy, have we seen some good defense tonight. Granted, there have been 4 errors, but a lot of those have been on pitchers with pickoff attempts to first base. The fielding plays we've seen tonight, dazzling for both teams. So Cox is retired 6-3 for the first out of the inning. Here's Dalton Dinkle. 5-4 our score. Mulvane batting, bottom of the 8th, looking for insurance. And a changeup, Dinkle way out in front of, barely got a piece of that one and fouled it off, 0-1. Noah Bland's made 2 nice plays. Going to his left and coming in. Pitch swung on and fouled out of play by Dinkle. And the count's 0-2. Dinkle struck out, grounded out, and he singled as well. Hot shot, line drive, slicing into right field, a base hit. And Dinkle's aboard with a single for the second time tonight. Well, you know that the ninth inning could be very interesting just the way this game is played out, as Mulvane's going to get a pinch runner into the game. And that's going to be Garrett Chalker out of Butler Community College that's going to come in. He's going to pinch run over at first. So Chalker is on for the Patriots. He'll run for Dinkle. So just the way this game has gone, finishing the point, all the big plays, important plays, especially in the last few innings, you have a feeling Derby is going to make things interesting in that top of the ninth inning. So really important for Mulvane to try and get across at least one run, if not more, you would think. Pitch down and away to Hunter Aguirre. 1 ball and no strikes to him. Runner at first, 1 away, bottom of the 8th inning. Mulvane 5, Derby 4. Through this stretch goes Honey. And the pitch, breaking ball down and in. Nice stop behind the plate by Pace. And now the batter, Aguirre, is claiming that hit him on the elbow. He threw the bat away, and he's asking the home plate umpire, did you see or hear that hit me? But apparently it didn't. So Aguirre back to the batter's box again. Speaking of the top of the ninth for Derby, by the way, due up, it'll be Colton Eager, Marcus Page, and David Renning. That's 4, 5, and 6 right in the heart of the order. So Mulvane certainly not out of the woods yet, especially if we go to the ninth with Mulvane leading the Twins by just a run. Pitch swung on and fouled back and out of play. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Hunter Aguirre. Aguirre has gotten under the ball 3 times tonight. He is 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts, 2 to the left and 1 to the catcher. There goes the runner, the pitch, down low, the throw to second's going to bounce in, and a tag, and it's not there. Oh, what a job by Torrin Craig. It didn't look like they were going to get have any way to get the runner heading down to second base. As that slide looked like it was going to give the runner the stolen base easily, and then a great job by Craig of short hopping it, nearly applying the tag. Now a line drive, left side, that's going to be just foul down the line. And now the count's full at 3-2. Garrett Chalker got a great jump on that pitch, but Joe Scott Pace made it look a lot more interesting than what it first seemed. And you see a lot of these catchers on this turf bouncing their throws into second. That's okay. You're also seeing some great glove work by the middle infielders to scoop those up and apply tags. Bouncing ball over to first. Page will take it on a couple of hops, win the foot race to the bag for a 3 unassisted, second out of the inning. And now down to third base goes the courtesy of the pinch runner for the Patriots, Garrett Chalker. So Turner Lace will step in now, representing the last chance for Mulvane to get a run across. And he'll swing at the first pitch. Slow roller toward short. Tough play for Craig. Charging in, he'll make the throw in time. Nicely done by Torrin Craig, who's played terrific defensively tonight, and he helps get the Twins out of the inning. So we go to the ninth. Stay tuned. It should be fun. Mulvane 5, Derby 4 on the Big Talker KQAM. This is the 84th NBC World Series.
This bud's for the dream and the people bold enough to pursue it. For those who come from nothing and rise to something. It's for those who take everything this country has to offer and make it their own.
Did we get a winner?
Many general contractors gauge success in the number of projects completed, the value of projects project sold or the number of employees that they have. At Key Construction, there is one variable by which we measure our success: a truly satisfied customer. We build a lot of things, but mostly we build relationships.
One of the better defensive games in baseball you'll watch. It's been fun tonight, and it all boils down to the top of the ninth inning. The Derby Twins trailing the Mulvane Patriots 5-4, and the first pitch into Colton Eager is outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes as Cole Larson on in relief for the Patriots, trying to close the door. The 1-0 pitch swung on and lifted foul, out of play. And the count now even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Eager, then Marquise Page and David Renning. That's, as I mentioned earlier, 4, 5, and 6 for the Twins, desperately needing a run. 1 to tie, 2 to take the lead. Larson to Eager, swung on and fouled back, out of play again. And the count's 1-2.
Let's get you home. Check their website at cwichitahomes.com.
Colton Eager with 2 base hits tonight. He's also walked, so he's been on base in 3 of his 4 plate appearances. Here comes the 1-2. Change up just misses away. And that'll even things up at 2-2. Some oohs and ahs from the crowd as they thought that one was possibly a strike, but it was just away. And that one a fastball outside. And the count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now the full count pitch. That's high and away for a ball. And it's ball 4. So the leadoff walk, of all ways to get that leadoff batter aboard when you're trying to close out a game. It's got to be one of the most frustrating for a coach to watch your reliever give up a leadoff walk. Eager the tying run on at first base. Here's Marquise Page. And he showed bunt, then swings away, but lifts it behind the bag at second. And Channing Williams is there to make the catch for a big first out. Well, Page has a tremendous amount of power, and he showed it his first time up. A towering fly ball to left field that nearly cleared the fence, and I mean he hit it a mile high. Had he straightened it out, it would have been a long home run. So he showed bunt, then at the last minute pulled it back for a full swing and pops out to short. Here's David Renning. Renning takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. On the fists, little cue stick over to first. They're going to try to get the lead runner at second, and they do. Then a relay, not in time. But a nice play over at first by Turner Lace, as he opted to get the lead runner on a slow spinning ground ball to him. And it worked for a 3-6 put out at second base. That's 2 away. Safe on the fielder's choice is David Renning over at first, and now Torrin Craig is up. And a first pitch strike, 0-1 now to Craig. Craig grounded out to second his last time up, struck out prior to that. Through the stretch goes Larson. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. High, ball 2. And the count's 2-1. Mulvane 5, Derby 4. The Derby Twins down to their final out. 2 balls and a strike to Torrin Craig with a runner at first. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Outside edge, strike 2. And now Mulvane just needs 1 more strike. So the fans will make some noise. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with a runner at first in a 1-run game. Larson through the stretch gets ready for Torrin Craig. Swung on and missed, strike 3. They've got to throw to first, and there's the out. That's the ball game. A nice job by Cole Larson, who comes on and gets the save, and the Mulvane Patriots have gone to 2-0 in this pool play round of the NBC World Series. We'll be back with the final wrap right after this.